All right, class, today we're going to be talking about the misconceptions of organ, eye, and tissue donation. I've forgotten my handouts for you guys today, so I need to go to the copier. I'll be right back.
I don't want to be a donor because I heard that if it's on your license and something happens, they're going to try and not save you. And they're going to try and take my organs.
No, that's not true. The doctors that take care of you are not the same ones that recover organs.
Yeah, that's right, because doctors are sworn to try to save your lives first and foremost. They even take an oath to do it. I know because my mom's a doctor.
And if something does happen, you probably won't have your license with you anyways.
And don't forget, not everyone could be an organ donor. Only people who die from non-survivable brain injuries can be a donor. And that's only like 1% of the people in the United States or something.
I mean, I really hate thinking about myself dying.
I know what you mean.
Besides, I think my family wants to have an open casket.
Mine too. I mean, it scares me to think about it, but I want my family to have the kind of funeral that make them feel better.
How can they do that if I'm a donor?
Don't forget, the families have shown a lot of respect through the process. It's just like a normal funeral.
Well, we don't have a lot of money since my dad lost his job. I don't know if we can afford organ donations.
Yeah, all those nurses and surgeons must cost a lot.
Actually, it doesn't cost a lot. The organization handling the donation picks up all the costs. The family doesn't even have to pay any of the bill.
Do I need my parents' permission to be a donor? I really want to do this.
Me too. I'm old enough to be independent and make my own decisions.
Well, how old are you? Aren't you like 16?
Yeah, so what?
Well, if you're 18, you can decide on your own to be an organ and tissue donor, and it's legally binding.
But if you're younger than 18, your family can still decide what to do, even if you signed up to be an organ donor.
I guess I get that. Maybe we should tell our parents what we'd like to have happen, no matter how old we are.
Yeah, communication really helps, and it's easier for the family later on, too.
I've heard that organ donation really gives families meaning to their lives.
I'd want it that way for my family too.
Yeah, it all sounds so good, but I heard that the people who have the transplants are sick all the time and have to take medicine for the rest of their life. What kind of life is that?
Funny you should be talking about that. We had a student at our school that had a transplant, and I wanted to show you a video of that.
Hello, my name is Brandon, and I am a heart recipient. I've had my heart transplant for about 9 months now, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the experience that I've had with you today. Basically, my heart was very large, and there was really nothing they could do to reverse it, so I just had to get a new one. Well, when they took my old heart out of my body, it was probably almost the size of my head, and it's supposed to be about the size of your fist, as we all know. Basically, I had fallen pretty ill there for a while, and I got hospitalized for about 2 months. Well, they'd sent me home, told me to take some pills, and that we'd see how long that would last, but that only lasted for like 3 or 4 months, and I was right back in the hospital again. But this time it was a little bit more serious. When I actually went into the hospital, I felt like I had the flu, which just very bad. And by the time that I'd been driven up to Cleveland, I actually couldn't walk anymore. I had a hard time getting out of bed that morning. And yeah, that wasn't that fun. I don't really remember too much of that day, only because it went by so fast. It was a little bit shocking. But I remember by the end of the day, I was hooked up to about 3 IVs. And they said that they were glad I got there because I was actually about to die. Which wasn't good. I was in a lot of heart failure there. You know, I got my heart transplant. That was an exciting day. It was a hard day. It was really the most emotional day of my life probably, because I was very scared but very happy at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. After all that was said and done, recovery is actually really quick for heart transplant. Like, I was probably up and walking within the first 2 days that I was awake, 3 days I was awake. And, you know, probably in the hospital for about 9 days after I woke up. I was incubated for, I think, 4. I don't remember. I was asleep. But after that, I was only in the hospital for 9 days, and then I was sent over to the Ronald McDonald House, which is a foundation for people who don't live directly within hospital limits. When you get a major surgery like this, you have to be within 30 minutes of the hospital, and I'm not, so that was a real help. And we stayed there for a little while. After a month of being there and a couple more checkups, my doctor said I could go home. I mean, I didn't feel like, you know, amazing right away, but I felt back to normal very quick. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff now that I can do that I couldn't do before. So, it's a fun little journey. When people talk about organ donation, a lot of people bring up the fact of the family members. To any organ donor's family, I'd really like to say thank you. I know it can be a tough choice not only on the individual donating their organs, but the people around them as well. As we all know, one person's actions affect everybody around them. If you're thinking about becoming an organ donor, just talk to your family about it. To all donor families, I really just want to say thank you on behalf of anybody that might have received an organ. I know it can be tough. I know losing a member close to you can definitely make you go through a lot, but just the fact that they were able to have the courage and be bold enough to stand up and give their body, to so many other people, really makes them a savior in their own kind of graceful way. It helps out a lot of people. It's not like we can just make these resources up on the spot. It's few and far between nowadays, but we're trying to definitely promote and get a lot more people into organ donation, save a lot more lives. Specifically to any donor family that may be involved in my case, if you know the people or you are the people, I'd really like to say thank you. It made a huge difference in my life, the fact that I'm sitting here talking to you today.
We're registered organ donors. You should be too.
You have the power to save 8 lives. Be a registered donor today.